Hello and welcome back to the channel after, a very disappointing result against Arsenal. Once again in the league, once again at Old Trafford, once again seeing, I don't know, horrible tactics, horrible play selection. It's a mess at the moment. It's a mess at the moment. My week is ruined, but luckily, we play again on Wednesday, so maybe, we can get a positive from there. But, I will start off with that. We are playing Istanbul. So, and we have been doing very, very well in the Champions League recently. So I'm very interested to see what happens. But, before we get into it, if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing, smash a like on the video, and comment down below any thoughts you have during this whole show. But gentlemen, before we get into it, generally, I'm going to ask you both, how are you doing? This is a question that goes under the radar. But how are you both doing after last night's?
Really, really bad. Still feel the same way like I felt last night after a couple of hours. Like it's just not good enough, and it's honestly depressing because as I was listening to Mark Goldbridge before I came on, we're stuck in the same place for 6 years. We're not moving forward, and it's so annoying and so depressing. So yeah, I have nothing more to say than that. Really.
Yeah, it does. Just disappointed. That's the least I can say. I'm just disappointed because it keeps on happening, and we always think it's going to change, and then it keeps on happening. It's
I mean,
one of those things that
I
sucks
think that's just it's just the general mood of how we're feeling at the moment. What I will say is that like I said, I have made my mind up about Oli. I do think that he's just not good enough. I said that I would reserve my full judgment of Oli after this death run period, and obviously, basically, this death run period has come to an end really. And yes, he's got amazing, terrific results against the likes of PSG and Leipzig, but every other results has been horrific, and it's so hit and miss at the moment. And it's not even like the beginning of his last season where he was struck with so many injuries. He's got his players, he's got the star quality players here, so there is no real excuse. There is no real excuse. Your centre backs are playing, your star midfields are playing, your strikers are there. Yeah, Bar Martial, I get that, but one player shouldn't be a difference. Is there really that much, from Rashford and they're not to get the job done? Bought Cavani as well, so so you even strengthen in that area. So Martial, I understand, is a big miss, but it's just unacceptable. So I had a day to think about it. Obviously, whether or not I was reactionary, and obviously I don't. I do wake up still saying that I stand by it. I wanted to give Oli a chance. In my heart, I've given him the chance. I think I've seen what I have seen from Oli. I know he can go on runs. I know he can pull out games. I can put out a tactical, wonder at certain times. But I know we will keep on getting disappointed with dizzy-ass results such as Arsenal, such as Burnley, such as Newcastle. And we just never seem to build and move. And it just gradually seems to either get worse, more toxic in the fan base. And but what I will say is that I have, spending the day to think about it, I will say Oli has been thrown on the bus because, like I said, our ownership, the Glazers, Ed Woodward, they have literally hanged him out to dry.
Yep.
And, if we did have a freaking, not an inept board, actual ownership and, a board that cared about this football club, would Oli even be in a job at the first place? He probably wouldn't. If you had a smart board enough, Oli wouldn't be the manager of Manchester United in the first place. They would have known, us fans were saying Oli at the wheel on that, but they would have been like, this guy, he's a caretaker manager. Obviously, there will be a bounce. Looking at his manager background, it's not the step, ready for Oli. So it's a bit of a big step. So I think, like I said, it's all up to Oli. And like I said, if you even bring in Poch now, I will stand by it. Poch will get you better results. Poch will get you better results. He'll get you team building better. He'll have a way. He'll have a style. Yes, all managers will have day off days where you're questioning what the hell did they do this weekend. But I think it'll happen less. So I think Poch will be more consistent. But I still think at the end of the day he will fail, just like any other manager will fail under the Glazers, under Ed Woodward, and just the sport in general. But I do think that if there was a man to back, I personally am backing Poch. I know Moloto he still wants to give Oli a chance. By all means, I stand by it. That's okay. It's okay if I fully stand by it. I'm his reaction. We haven't been done in the league, but we've seen it again. Oli can go on a 14-game win thing, and then all of a sudden, it's not looking so bad. And I'm still there. I'm still thinking Oli out because I know these results will come. But I'm not denying the fact that Oli can definitely go on a 14-game win run, and then we're like, yeah, well, there we go. Ollie's, he's back. He's back. The team is back. But I know the inconsistency will come back. It'll creep its way back in. So that's just where I am at. After the day, we're thinking about it. But before we go into the Istanbul game, and I think this question leads into the Istanbul game, and just United in future. I'm gonna ask you both, because I try to ask myself from this, and I could only think of like basic answers. But where do we go from here? Where do we go?
If you ask me what's going to happen, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. You're going to keep seeing these inconsistent
obviously, Ollie's not going to get fired at the moment. He's not going to get fired. Whether or not you think he's the man for the job, he's not getting fired. Glazers aren't going to go. So with the situation that's dealt with us, where do we go?
I think, look, I'm not going to say Ollie out, because unlike you guys who've been skeptical for a very long time, I've been saying that there's potential with this manager. So I don't want to be flipping over one game and now saying I'm Ollie out. But he's just not done it, has he? He's just not done it. And as I said last night, I've thought about it for a couple of hours, but I still feel the same way. There's good aspects about this team, but it's just not good enough. And we need consistency. That's the word Ole should be waking up. That's the word that should be ringing Ole's head this morning. Consistency. How can I get it from this club? And that's the only way he's going to have a decent future at this club, or going to do anything we deem good enough at this club. And yeah, he has to show us why he's Manchester United manager. That's what he has to do. He has to completely change the style and play at a level that suits this club. He needs to work on how we are off the ball, how we are on the ball, and I just wonder if he can do that. I wonder if he can do that.
It's so hard to actually come up with words to where we go from here, because as a United fan, I think we all know how this goes. Someone's going to come in and take over probably before the end of the year at this rate, if Ollie keeps this up, and we're going to have to deal with the caretaker manager before we sign some random whoever. It doesn't really matter, because it seriously doesn't matter what happens at the end of the day. That's why I'm not Ollie out, because I know nothing's going to change at the end of the day. I'm still going to be critical of the man, and I'm still going to say he needs to be doing better, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter with the board above us. We're just destined to fail in the long term.
Yeah.
But
there's so much.
At the very least, we need to steady the helm right now, and maybe Ollie's time is up at the club, and maybe we should be considering that. And as like an actual solution to our problems right now, someone just to consistently get us the results against the Crystal Palaces, the Newcastles, the games we should be winning, the games that we should comfortably be winning.
I was just thinking, even if Ollie kept there, it will never happen, by the way. This is just hypothetical. But if Ollie was to remain manager of the club, but you got in a mad coach, a mad assistant manager, like I'm not talking like obviously in a hypothetical sense. Imagine if Pochettino was at the club, but he was Ollie's, sideman guy. Ollie's the manager, but Pochettino is the brain behind him. It'll never happen, because I still question it. I mean, how is Mike Phelan and Michael Carrick coaches of Manchester United? The coaches, and
like we suggested before multiple times, Shoni. I think Ole switching to assistant manager is probably going to be the best thing for his career possible, because he'll still get the best out of the players, and then they'll have solid tactics.
Players
to build on actual.
I agree.
That's
the players get the like.
Yeah. I fully think that's a very big
option.
No,
maybe that's the change that happen. Maybe he needs to look at his technical team.
Because I think it will definitely help, and I think in a fantasy world, to please everyone, you didn't really get rid of Ollie because he's there. The players will still be like, oh look, it'll be similar to what Everton did. Duncan Ferguson came in, caretaker manager. They didn't completely. They just moved into assistant manager, and Carlo Ancelotti became the manager. Like imagine we in a hypothetical, Pochettino was the manager, Ollie was the assistant or something. I'm pretty sure Ollie might not like it, but I think. Yeah.
I don't think Poch is interested in doing that, to be honest. But I do think that
I think if Poch had to manage, you'd be like, I want my own team. I want my own coaches. I want my own assistant manager. Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah.
But, that's a single hypothetical. Yeah.
Ole is loyal, but he needs to realize that it's his head on the line here. and he needs to look at who are the people around me and are they going to help me get the best out of this club. I mean, Mike Phelan making an argument for it because he's been here, he's been in the technical team before. Carry analysis, like, it is very suspect, honestly. And look, I understand the big problem at this club, and the board is the issue. But there's only so much we can do about the board as fans, you know. And we can't just keep ignoring evident crap. We can't keep ignoring that we're inconsistent, and something needs to change in terms of what's happening in management and on the pitch. Honestly, that's how.
Yeah, like I said, we don't have the best of boards. But even when I look at someone like Newcastle's board, and they have managers like Steve Bruce, but I can tell you what Steve Bruce's style of play is. Yes, I know it's different managing a Newcastle compared to a Manchester United, but you know it's basics in what you want from a manager. If you look at any manager in the Premier League, you can say, yeah, exactly. You can say what their style is. You can say what they want to do, what's their backup plan, what they're looking for, you know, what's their situation they can deal with, what's their goals, you know. But us, I just don't know. And you know, to answer my own question, where do we go from here? Like I said, Ollie's not getting fired, Board ain't going anywhere anytime soon, so no fans in the ground. You know, I think what Ollie and what we need to do going forward is I think Ollie needs to first of all start picking the right team, 100% the right team every game. You start picking the right team. You and I think you need to figure out what's your best formation. Because the end of last season, towards the end of after lockdown, Ollie knew what his best formation was. He knew what his best players and who his best 11 was. Again, he went out to didn't work, and now you know people look to like figure us out. But now you adapted. Now I personally don't think that 4-2-3-1 is our best. I think the diamond is still our best because yesterday I've seen lots of people arguing never play the diamond again, never play it again. But yesterday, I beg you go watch that game back, fam. Go do it to yourself. Watch that game back, and you go show me where the diamond is, because I didn't see no diamond at all. So I stand by it. I think the diamond is the best way to go. I think you have to pick the right players for the diamond. Martial is back. Alex Telles has returned to training today. So, you know, I think Ollie, that, you know, where we go from here, you don't give us reasons to, you know, to sack yourself. Don't give reasons to sack yourself. Don't sack yourself. Pick the right team. You know, if you pick 100% the right team, obviously it will never be 100%. So you can't please everyone. You know, some people do like McTominay, some people do like. But you know, for the majority, you know, you pick out a team where we're all there, like, bloody hell, that's a good team, and they still lose, and you know, it's still something shaky happening. We'll take it from there. You know, if it was tactics or if it was players on the day, we all know where the blame is. But for now, I think you pick the right formation with the right players. Whether or not you think it's the diamond, I'll ask you guys actually. What do you think is the best formation and the players to suit in that formation? Because for me, it's still the diamond. I stand by it. I think the best players we have can be used in a diamond. But I also want to say is all he chooses, now he's got to stick by it, because we have seen Ollie change it a lot. We've seen 4-2-3-1, back five, diamond, all in the space of a few weeks. And I think it's heavily confusing the players. I think that has a big part also to play why yesterday, if Ollie did try playing the diamond against Arsenal, they were running around like headless chickens. It's just, it's very confusing. So, yeah, you know, I said a lot of things. But, yeah, personally, I still think the diamond with the right players is the way to go. But what do you guys think? Do you think that's the best formation we can play with the players we have? Or do you guys think of something else?
I think the diamond is the best formation we can play, but when we play it against a team that's not going to press us in a certain way, it'll work. When we play against a team that sets up in a way that works in our favor, it'll work, it'll not work. But the point I'm trying to make is that I think there's bigger problems in the formation. I honestly do. I think, as I said last night, I don't think this counter-attacking style works. It doesn't work. It works here and there, but it's not consistent. So we need to change it. Yeah,
that also. Like when you play a diamond, it's not really a counter-attacking formation. It's very much hold the ball, move it fast, high intelligence, high concentration, unlocking doors, and then you pick your time.
Yeah. For me, it's if you're going to play counter-attacking football, can you do it and be consistent? If the answer is no, then don't play it. You're at Manchester United. It's finished. Play a different way. And the thing is, when he's tried to play a different way, he's been found out because it looks crap. So he needs to make his money's worth now and fix the actual problem and show us why he's Manchester United manager. Why is he so good tactically that he needs to be seated there in the manager seat? But I think the diamond is best for our players. I think he can bring the best out of, because it's the thing. We clearly have a centre back problem. And yes, I do think we can maybe set up our backline better. But
yes, and that's where I stand on. That's where we need to go from now. I don't care, Ollie. I don't care you McTominay, Maguire, Pogba. They give you blowjobs in the dressing room on the sidelines. I don't care. You fucking put out the right team from now on. I don't care, Maguire's your captain. You drop him. You drop Maguire. Give the captaincy to Bruno Fernandes. You start doing these things, fam. You start doing these things. Otherwise, you're not helping your case. You are just not helping your case. Yeah. I said these things weeks and weeks in. I know he's your captain, and I'm not saying we're completely done with Maguire, but there's certain games for Harry Maguire. And I said that, I didn't want to play him. Like, I knew he was going to play, but I didn't want to play him. Things like that, playing McTominay, putting Fred at CDM in the time. I mean, come on, Ollie. This is schoolboy errors you're making. Switch on. I'm freaking 20 years old of age, and I can see the problems that we have. You've got coaching degrees, you've got coaching badges, you've managed clubs. I've managed, but I've managed freaking 6-year-olds, I've managed 8-year-olds, I've managed an Indo team. Come on, if I can see this, how are you not seeing this, fam? How are you not seeing Scott McTominay is not good enough to wear a Manchester United shirt? How can you see that Pogba is so highly inconsistent in an inconsistent team that we are, and you still pick him? There will be. I'm not saying completely, just get them chuck games with. Yes, I agree. I would have played Pogba in the Arsenal game, but again, it wasn't right. There was no time, there was no structure, and then again, even if I did play Pogba, I would have subbed him off. I mean, if you looked at my WhatsApp state, well, not many of you will have my number, obviously, because you watched the views. But anyone who has my number, I literally said 5 minutes before that penalty got given, take Paul Pogba off, and then 5 minutes later, I didn't need a freaking degree to tell you that. I just watch football. I question whether or not some of these people at this club actually watch football, because even things like Donny van de Beek only playing where Bruno can play. What? I don't know at that club, but Ollie, you are the manager, and you need to start making the right decisions, man. Right, decisions.
I don't want to defend Harry Maguire, but if I think back, and correct me if I'm wrong, Harry Maguire played in a high press in Brendan Rodgers' first season, and I think he looked much better than he looks right now. Yes, obviously there must be games that he cost them that weren't under the microscope as they would be at Manchester United. But I feel like Ole's ineptitude in terms of setting up our backline is not helping the players either. It's not. He's going for the easy way out. He's just putting 2 in front of them and saying that should be enough. No, it isn't. You should put in them, but still drill in a certain way of playing out the back, a certain shape, and that way we can press high and just play like the team we should be. Just impose ourselves over smaller teams, and we can't do that. So, and the captaincy thing, that's a big one. That's the first thing that should change. Maguire should not be captain. You can't be giving captaincy on sympathy. What? At Manchester United, it's insane.
Cavani's more vocal, and he only makes 10-minute cameos.
Cavani doesn't even speak English, fam.
Exactly. I see this man's mouth moving. I see him just arms up. I see the more emotion from him than I see from Maguire for a full 90. That's the thing. Yeah. That's literally the point. It's
not even just that. I don't care what he's doing off the pitch. He's crap on the pitch. How can your captain be crap on the pitch? Exactly. How does that work?
Honestly, this team needs a proper bollocking. This team needs a proper swearing or something. Some of these players need to look long and hard in that mirror. Literally, we need Roy Keane to come in there, or even fly me down, fam. I will go look at Paul Pogba and I'll tell him, bro, you are shit. I rate you, but my God, you are awful, fam.
If he paid attention after Pogba caused the penalty, Bruno went to him and talked to him. But where's Maguire? He didn't say anything. He was way back.
Doesn't say anything. Maguire doesn't care. Lindelof was even shouting there.
Bruno doesn't care.
Who was Lindelof shouting? I can't remember. I was just so angry. But Lindelof actually saw someone. He was swearing at people that, I don't know what happened. But I think no one gave him a pass and kind of lost the ball and they nearly scored on the break. But Lindelof was fuming. And I'm like, even Lindelof. Even freaking Lindelof. And we've seen it. Even when Maguire, when Bruno went to go tell Lindelof off, rightfully so. But Lindelof was, he showed some fight. Maguire, you can go smack him, fam. And he won't do anything. It's it's just so I think Ollie that's where for me where we have to go. Ollie needs to start making the right team selections, the right decisions, and just the basics. You need the basics right now, and just find somewhat of consistency. If he was my boy, just keep on changing every week. This guy comes in first. Last week it was James and Mata. This week it's McTominay and Fred switch roles. What's going to be in the Champions League? It's been perfect so far. So will he keep it perfect, or will the pressure get to him and try something completely different and fail?
If you guys remember correctly, I said we might have a good campaign in the Champions League this season before PSG because it suits our playing style. Play on the counter. Teams that play Champions League are the best where they come from. So they're gonna say, we're not gonna sit back. We're gonna come up against you.
That's why I think the Istanbul game might be trickier. It might actually be our trickiest game in the Champions League because Istanbul ain't going to come and attack us. Probably they're gonna be like, oh, nah, we're not gonna.
Oh, we should.
And actually, let me just check quickly. Is Istanbul last in our log? Man United.
It should be. Yeah.
Any cert.
Cricket, captain.
Only 2001 game.
Man United, UCL. Okay, let's see.
Group A, Sean.
Yeah, so they haven't won it. They've lost to. They played PSG and Leipzig. I mean, come on. But let me see. Goals from. These guys haven't scored a goal. I can't believe I'm reading this. They haven't.
Watch them get a performance against us.
But that's what I'm saying. This is the problem, bro. Look at this. I've literally read to you guys. They haven't won in our group yet. I know they played Leipzig and PSG. We beat them both in proper fashion. They haven't scored a goal yet against them, and they've conceded 4. We put 5 past Leipzig. Now, this shouldn't be a game we drop points at all. These should be 6 points in the freaking bag. And because they don't attack us, and if we can't break a low block, and we can't figure out, and we're playing busy players, it's just, I mean, Ollie, boy, you might as well just pack your bags and leave yourself. So, we will get into the predicted 11s and stuff, and, we'll talk about the game. But I'll start off with saying this. I don't know what Ollie's going to do. So, I can flip a coin, I can't even. I would if a coin had 3 sides, I need to flip a triangle. I don't know. Because at this point, I can't tell you what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to do. I can't. Because you've seen also when he's frightened, he's going to play back 5. But then are you going to play a back 5 against Istanbul? This time you're going to play a back 5 against Istanbul. So honestly, when it comes to prediction 11, for the first time, I am left speechless. So all I'm going to say is what you should do. I think that's what we can all do. We can all give our opinion on what Ollie should do and what we'd like to see.
Like, where's Ollie not consistent? Not inconsistent. Like, it seems like in every aspect of his managerial.
It's only when he went on that run after lockdown when Bruno came and we knew. Remember that period we knew who was our best team, and we were even like, there's no arguments when we did the predicted lineup. We're like, why would we argue? This is the best lineup. So that's the.
But as I said last night, I'm starting to wonder about that period. I'm seriously starting to wonder about what was actually going on in that period and how fit the other teams were. Maybe it's not an excuse because we were in the same situation as them, but I feel like because we had the better players, it was a new environment with no fans and all of that. I feel like it worked in our favor because when we try to play that team now, it just looks like it doesn't work. It looks like Pogba and Fernandes aren't on the same page. Greenwood doesn't click as much as he used to. The only player I've seen in that shape with the team who's been consistent and he's been jobbed now is Matic. Really. And maybe Rashford has started playing better than he was back then. But I don't know.
This is where we're up with. Welcome to the real world. This is where we're up. So, I don't think any of us know and can give you a predicted, lineup because who knows them. I think if Clayton said he can, he'll be lying to you. So let's just say what we want to see from Ollie and what we'd like to see, right? So I'm gonna go. We'll start off with formation, and I want it to be the diamond, but it has to be the diamond that played like Leipzig. Leipzig, you can say yes, they pressed us and we did hit them on the counter, but I still disagree. I think the shape was always there, no matter how hard they pressed. No matter how up the field Leipzig wanted to go, the diamond was kept for 90 minutes, held that diamond, held the shape, move the ball when we were on the ball. We didn't just some goals were quickly created, but we held it. The passing was good. We created a lot of things. And when there was that time to dart through and be direct, we did it well. So that for me that has to be, and I think that has to be the way forward. So that's what I would go with.
I feel like our shape was broken by Arsenal. I won't lie to you. I feel like the Arsenal press, they're the ones who forced us into pushing Pogba deep and isolating Bruno Fernandes in the midfield.
But I still would like someone to point out where the diamond was yesterday.
True, as well. But at the same time, you can say maybe we paid too much respect to Arsenal. That interpretation.
It looked like Oli wanted to freaking close up shop, hit them on. Oli, close it up, and try hit them on the break, nick a goal, and win it. By nicking it, get the result. That's what it looked like. It didn't look like we were the home team who was supposed to hold the control it, dictate the play. And especially when you have Matic. I mean, when you don't have Matic, there is no one saying, to the centre backs, there's the pass to make it out of trouble, or give it to me, I'll just, quickly do it. Fred, he's great. He's been the best at that right midfield. He plays in CDM with McTominay, and both of them won't conduct. Both of them won't show. There's the pass to make. They're both hardworking boys, and they'll give everything they want for the shirt. But they're not a Matic. They're not an experienced here. I know I'm a CDM. I am a professional CDM. They both aren't. They're makeshift CDMs. So yeah, but in terms of formation, I stick by the diamond.
We actually play like a small team. Now that I think about it, we play like Crystal Palace or West Ham. On this day we're gonna sit back because we're not good enough.
We don't know how to execute a low block at the same time.
Yeah.
We don't know how to execute a low block, but we want to counter the entire time and be the submissive team until the ball favors us. Basically, we still don't know how to perform a low block whatsoever, though. So I don't know how to describe what we do. We're just clueless.
Yeah. Way too many variables, and I feel like it needs to be simplified a little bit. Like, this is what we're gonna do every game, and let's just go with it, and at least with something to show for it, even if maybe it blows up in our faces. But what we're doing right now is just not working. But yeah, to go back to the question, I do think we should play diamond.
Yeah, with the personnel we have at this club, the diamond is literally our way out of the situation we're in, because we don't have a right winger, so we can't play any traditional wide formations technically, So
we don't have any wingers really. Is Rashford really a winger? He's performed well in it. He's the modern winger.
He's the modern winger, because I feel like
nowadays as well. Why is he playing on the right hand side?
That's what I was going to ask.
Why is Rashford playing on the right hand side of the striking pairing every single time? Right hand side. And I don't understand. Greenwood's comfortable on the right, Rashford's comfortable on the left. Why do you switch them?
Because he's got a hat trick on the right. That's why, apparently. That's top level management.
He cut in from the left for 9 out of 10 of those shots. That's the thing. That's where Rashford comes in. He's an inside forward. He cuts in from the left and he whips it. That's how Rashford scores all his goals. Yeah, he's not a winger.
He's not a winger. He's an inside forward. That's what he is. But yeah, for now, I think Oli stick with the diamond, my boy. I mean, unless you let us know in the comments if you've actually maybe there's some other low-key formation missing, like a 4-1-4-1, or who knows? I don't know. You let us know down below if you can think of any other. Yeah, you can think of any other masterclass formation to play. But yeah, for diamond, I think that's what go in goal. Actually, this is I would have loved to keep Dean Henderson this game, these next Champions League games, because it's a game that makes sense. But when your job is on the line, fam, and just now you pick Dean Henderson and he does a madness, and now it's like, oh my god. So for those reasons, I feel like Dean Henderson, my boy, because we're the situation Ollie's in, he can't risk it. He can't. David Day has to stay in goal for me.
Yeah. So just to go back to how I think we should play this game, I think yes, we should play the diamond, but I just don't want to see us on the counter. I don't want to see it whatsoever, especially against the team.
We have to dominate.
So diamond, stick in our positions that you say, and press high. Play like Manchester United. But yeah, De Gea and goals definitely. You can't fault De Gea for anything that's been happening over the past few.
Yeah, and he stepped up whenever we needed him to. Because that Leipzig game goes 2-2 at a stage, and then we're going to cry a little bit because Rashi's going to be a little more panicked with his hat trick, and then we're not going to get the goals, and it's 2-2 draw, and that's how it ends. If De Gea didn't perform, that's the reality of the situation. If De Gea isn't as consistent as he is right now, we start drawing and losing games. Simple as that. He starts this game, especially when your job's on the line. There's no question.
Yeah, I think, and then again, right back, if there's another guy who there's no question is you pick everyone Saka. I mean, that's pretty much set in stone.
I don't have much of a choice, really.
Really much choice. Again, like I said, I would love for one of our youngsters to get this Champions League game. Get up, but no, I don't. No. Not the time. Not the time. We are not consistent. Don't do this.
No, he's going to retain on the list. We know it's.
But this is the problem. That's what I'm saying. If Oli doesn't do things, he's not helping us. If we continue to do it, like I said, it can work. It does get the result. You grind out the results, at some times, but it's not a freaking consistent, longevity plan. You can't keep on playing with Dominic forever. It's just not it. You can't play the end of games forever. It's just not it. So yeah, Wan-Bissaka there. Centre back pairings dropped. Maguire has dropped. This is one of the key things. If he plays Maguire, and like I said, if we win, keep a clean sheet. Like I said, I don't put it past them to do it because I know they can do it, but it's just not the way forward. It's not the way forward. So you pick Axel Tuanzebe, and you do pick Victor Lindelof.
Yeah, no, Maguire can stay in Manchester for like to be honest, and I think it should be Tuanzebe and Lindelof.
How you don't pick Axel Tuanzebe after having playing of the year and pocketing Neymar and Mbappe and that type of performance? I don't know. I don't know. You've had 2 weeks to play him and you didn't play him after that game. I don't know.
He hasn't played a single minute of football after that. It's ridiculous.
Well, he played right back, but yeah.
Oh yeah, he played.
Right back.
Imagine if Pep Guardiola kept playing Bravo and Mendy just because of that price tag, the big players. So we just have to play them. Imagine that. Well, they wouldn't have won the league by 100 points because Bravo would have kept losing the ball, and then Mendy would have been horrible defensively. But that's not what you do as a big team. Like Manchester City are doing things better than us into the decision making. That's embarrassing. Honestly, this new team has just come up the blocks and now they're schooling us. It's honestly embarrassing.
Yeah,
it really is.
All you need is getting this right, because it's ridiculous. Yeah, and this win against a 5-0 win against Super won't change my mind anymore. My mind is made up. I know what I've seen from Oli. The only way Oli can change my mind now is if he goes consistently on a run. I see some form of play, and you go fucking win a trophy, boy. Because by all means, if you win us a trophy, I ain't complaining. If we win 5-0 tomorrow, I'm happy. Obviously, I'm gonna celebrate. Yeah. I'm one of those fans who are no, I want us to lose so I can be proven right. No, go back. By all means, prove me wrong, fam. Prove me wrong. But just know that one result is not gonna just switch what my thinking is. It's not.
Yeah. He's always preaching the history of the club, but then what he's basically saying by picking Maguire is that Maguire is bigger than this club. That's what he's saying, and he gets to play every single game.
Feels like
I think Maguire no.
It's also built on youth. Our history is in our youth, and we're just ignoring it right now to a large extent.
Yeah.
By not playing Tuanzebe, we are ignoring it. It's as simple as that.
And Tuanzebe is not like Mengi, where we don't know yet how he is, But we've seen Axel.
Pockets and Neymar and
Mbappe. I don't know what more do you want from him. What more do you want from him? If I was Axel, I'd be like, man, my pockets is Neymar and Mbappe. You taking the piss? Nah. Nah. So Maguire definitely not my team. Left back is very interesting. Because like I said, Tellers is back in training, but I worry. I don't know how fully fit he is. If he can play a full 90, if he can play a full 90, that is the one player I'd probably say, fair enough, you put him in the team. But again, it's one of those players where if he's not fully fit, you play Luke Shaw. I don't mind.
Surely break as well.
But
don't get injured again.
So what happens with that? I can't be asked about it. I feel like that's one position you can't really get it wrong. Right. So whether it's Luke Shaw, that's the only way you get it wrong. But you play Luke Shaw, Alex Telles, I'm happy. Ollie, you can't get that wrong. So to give him a say, I'd say Luke Shaw, because I just don't know how fit Alex Telles. I know he's back in training, but I just don't know how fit he is. So.
Definitely Shaw. I think there's no question about that, and he hasn't been horrible.
I think, sure, definitely in my ideal world, but I'm not going to be surprised if you see Williams. Not gonna lie. Seriously.
Who say Williams plays, fam? That's not an option. I'm telling you, he needs to pack his bags, fam. All he needs is not packing the bags. Williams! Yeah, no.
The kid's got a lot to learn. He should have gone on loan this season.
He
It's
should,
simple as
yeah,
that.
he
He should have
should.
gone on. He should be in the championship.
But you know, fucking hell, mate. We're clutching at straws here.
Yeah,
But yeah, the diamond midfield, the most crucial part of the team, the diamond midfield. That is that's where this formation makes it or breaks it. But for me, the diamond midfield has to be at the center, Matic, next to, and then on the right, Fred, left, Donny van de Beek, and at the spearhead, Bruno Fernandes. No Paul Pogba, no McTominay, and Fred mustn't be the one at the back. So that is the only midfield you play tomorrow. That is the only midfield you play tomorrow. That is the only midfield I trust.
Yeah, no arguments there. I think exactly the same midfield. In my mind, Paul Pogba should be Donny van de Beek's replacement from now on. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
he
think
can come on
that's
and
how
make
it
a difference here.
now.
Because
Until Paul Pogba proves himself
And he-
wrong, you need to be secure bench to Donny van de Beek.
yeah,
And
he's a
only
flair
learn
player.
that Donny
So
can play there.
he might suit coming off the bench and just doing attacking duties, not defending whatsoever. So yeah, I agree with that midfield 100%.
Yeah, I think that's probably our best midfield. I would love to see them all link up just in an actual game. So
I don't think
if
we've
he does
seen
play
that
that,
midfield yet.
no, we haven't.
We
We
haven't.
have not seen that.
We haven't
Before,
seen it.
yeah.
And that's our best
It's
midfield.
because Van de Beek's a 10, boy. Don't worry. Van de Beek's a
Yeah,
10.
that's
You
what
can't play with Bruno. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's we're never going to see that midfield probably at this rate. Because if Ali doesn't figure out that Van de Beek doesn't play as only a 10, we'll never get the best out of him. And that's just so sad because he's such a high potential player and he's such class already at his young age.
But yeah, I think there's no complaints from that midfield. I think that is the midfield you play. So yeah, no complaints. Let us know down below whether or not you think Scott should play, or I don't know who else. Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is the big one, obviously, because I understand.
Even
You know,
Mitch Howard.
I am a big Paul Pogba fan, but you cannot sit to me and tell me that he deserves to start at this time. You just can't. As much as we love Paul Pogba, you can't say he deserves to start for Manchester. You just can't. You can't. As for striker partnership, one man for sure, Anthony Martial. Also, one of the very few players in this team I trust. There's very few I trust. I trust Anthony Martial. I trust Bruno Fernandes. I trust Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I actually trust Tranzeva, I really do, and I trust Luke Shaw. And I trust Matic, but part of that, I don't know. But those are the full players I really trust. So yeah, Martial, without a doubt, he will be starting every single game from now onwards until he's injured or he burnt out or needs a rest. He is our striker. So Martial for me. And again, this is another game I would have loved Cavani to play, to get some, but I don't think you can. I mean, you can because we're so, safe in the Champions League. But if you lose this game or draw this game, fam, oh my god, I can't stress how important it is. But yeah, Martial, and I think in my head, Martial and Greenwood works very good in dynamic, but you have to play Rashford and Martial, I think. So yeah. I mean, sorry, Martial and Greenwood works as a dynamic, but I think Martial and Rashford should be the strikers.
Yeah, I know. I agree with Rashford playing. I think, yes, he wasn't amazing on the weekend, but in terms of general form on the last few, he's been really good. And yeah, no, Martial is not disappointed, to be honest. Like, yes, one can say he should be scoring more, but then he offers so much more. So, yeah, I think it has to be Rashi and Martial.
Yeah, on paper, that's probably our best thing. For me personally, I still want to experiment with the Cavani Martial, but it's not the time in the slightest. But I do want to see if that partnership has anything going for it. And it's Istanbul. We're going up against a team where Cavani should be able to score a bloody goal. So Rashford does deserve a break after everything he's given. So
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I would like to see that relationship try and build.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
Cavani
there is certain leeway. I won't be too mad. Is probably is a striker, and it is left back. I think those are the only two ways. Like pick your pick.
Yeah. Everything else is sense.
Don't do something crazy like Cavani and Greenwood though. That no.
Yeah, no. You smack for that.
Martial and someone. Whoever that someone is, I'll be fine as long I'll be fine with it. But
Dan James.
Marshall, I'll pick you. And now, okay.
Oh no.
So I see Dan James starting from turning off the TV. I'm turning off the
Okay, if Ryan Giggs is our manager, then we can play Dan James and strike. We'll be fine. But Ali's at the wheel. This is not good.
Yeah, it's not good. Dan James and all is not good. Not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, pick your pick there at striker, pick your pick at left back. Those are the only two positions I can't be phased about. The rest, it is vital you get it. And I did say, because freaking Maguire got dropped and he doesn't play in this game, there's only one captain. There is only one captain. His name is Bruno Fernandes. You give him the armband. You give him the armband. You don't sub him off. You don't sub him off. You sub him off when we're leading and we don't need Bruno. Then you experiment by all means. You can funnel up, experiment all you want on. Put Scott CDM, put Scott centre backs, put Scott in goal. I don't care. You do what you do, isn't it? As long as we're safe and we're getting 3 points, then it's fine. But yeah, that's all covered. Score predictions. We'll give 2 score predictions, right? I'll give a score prediction based on what the team I selected. I think if the team I selected plays and they are drilled to play the diamond like Leipzig, we win this game 2-0. If we don't pick that team, Maguire plays, Scott plays, or Fred DM, or Daniel James, or Nigalo, or something weird, I can see us dropping points this game.
I can definitely see us dropping points. I can definitely see that. And I think we're going to struggle because they play low block and we're going to struggle to break them down. And I think we're going to play some frightening football. But I think we'll win because we have too much talent for them. And it's going to be a 2-1 win.
Yeah, realistically, you could play our second team and you still should be beating Istanbul. That's how it's supposed to be. You should be. But we can't say that, can we? And what does that say? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Realistically, I think with the team Ali puts out, which is going to be some amalgamation of our second team and the team we chose now, it's going to grind out a result, and it's going to be a very, very, very ball game probably. It's going to be a lot of mistakes. It's going to be very error-prone, more than likely. We've seen how we are, and it's just... I very much wouldn't be surprised if we drop points. I can see us scraping like a 1-0 90th minute drive.
That's what I was going to ask before. I was going to actually ask you guys before I ended off. How would you guys feel if Oli played a back 5 tomorrow against Istanbul? Well, not tomorrow.
No,
I'd be shocked.
A back
Like, I
5,
shouldn't be
and then
shocked.
let's just say Oli
shouldn't
plays
be
the back 5 and we win just 1-0. I mean, is that where we are now?
Sorry, no.
I mean, I'm happy that it's a win, and if that's really, but is that really the formation?
Honestly, I don't care if we win. If we play back 5 and smack them 5-0, at this point, I don't give a shit. Because you've shown that you can't be consistent if this playing style you're trying to play. So you're going to go and lose to Everton after that. So I'll be like, oh, okay, we won, but we lose to Everton. So I'm at that point right now.
Exactly. That's just a case of no. You should
Because
be doing
if there is that, I don't know why, but I do have a feeling that because, like I said, when Oli is under ropes, that back 5 is his go-to thing. Shut up shop completely. You try and nick
Back 5 against this team is.
But if I see Oli play a back
better.
5 against, but that's what I'm saying. If Oli plays the back 5 against Istanbul, I think we're seeing a scared manager fighting for his job. That's what I do see. I think we see a scared manager fighting for his job, hoping that he somehow gets results over a long enough period of time to get the pressure off him. And that's not what I want from Manchester United manager, innit? So,
Yes.
Oli, I can't do anything about you. If I was the board, I'd sacked you after the last night's game. I would have sacked you after last night's game. Actually, I would have probably sacked you a little bit earlier because it just even the third 66 possession. Yes.
If you want to think about it, a scary thing is that we beat the big teams last season because of how they play. But if they figured us out, if they've done that,
and so far it's kind of proven because Chelsea got the draw. We didn't smack them. We didn't smack Spurs either.
2 draws.
Now we're losing to small and big teams.
2 draws and got smashed by Spurs. Like what's going to happen in the league this season? I know we're not talking about the league here, but it's frightening. It's a frightening thought.
The league is scary. We are 15th, and if we win our game with our game in them, I think we go to 10th. We're
going up to 12.
12.
That's if we beat, because we're on a -4 goal difference. Leeds are on a +3, so we need to win 7-0 to be able to take Leeds 12. With a free game, nobody else plays again. Nobody else plays the game. We just smack someone 7-0 and it just counts. We only go up to 12.
Like there's so much crap around in the club right now. One might even consider firing or then hiring Poch just for the bounce. I know that sounds insane, but one might even consider that.
Speaking of Poch will be, I don't know if he'll be when we watch, on South Africa, but I don't know what he is, but I heard he is going to be on some show, some Premier League show. If he's not televised where you watch the games tonight, we're going to watch the Premier League. I'm pretty sure you'll see it on Twitter somewhere. Let's see what Poch has to say. Let's see what Poch has to say. Maybe he'll be like,
I'm gonna ask him.
I would guess along the lines. If you ask me what I think Poch would say, I would predict that. I've had a nice break. I've took this time to reflect. Just normal cliche stuff. I took this time to reflect. I do miss managing. I want to manage in the Premier League. And then the pundits will probably be like, "What do you think about Manchester United recently?" And you'll be like, I think they are struggling. I just, with Oli, I don't know what the style of play is. I don't know what it is. And then I could see something like, "Would you take the job?" And then he'd be like, "Well, I don't want to say now, obviously, because right now I'm just enjoying my time off football. But I wouldn't be opposed.
I don't want to talk about another man's club.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I don't feel it's right as a manager, as an ex-manager, to talk about another manager's thing. I don't think that's right. I don't think it benefits anyone. I'm just right here to think I'm a very loyal man. Everyone knows I like Tottenham, and they'd be like, so if anything with Mourinho, what do you have to say about Mourinho? I think Mourinho's doing a good job. I'm obviously taking the title play. I've literally on paper I gave you Pochettino to do. Fam, knocked it out the park. I gave it to you. There it is. There's Pochettino tonight.
Or it should be like, I want the United job, and I'm gonna assert my style on this team.
Says that dude, I'm applying the outcome. If they're like, what is about that job? Like, I'd love it. Honestly, I think those group of players are quality players. I don't know why he's not playing the diamond like this. I don't know why he's not picking Donny van de Beek here. I would love to work with those players. If he says something along the lines of that,
he's not the type of manager, but that would be amazing.
I've been reaching for him to say it, but if he says something like that, oh my God, I'm flying England now of telling Oli pack his bags. Yeah, tell you now. Poch is feeling. If I hear Poch saying, those players, Poch, how are you playing Don? And what bothers me about Oli is that he's picking Donny instead of Bruno. He's for some reason he thinks Bruno is a 10. I'll be like, oh my God, that's what I say. And he'll be like, Maguire, I know he's 80 million, but how is he your captain and your centre back? I'll be like, oh my God, he actually said that. He'll be like, how are you doing that? I'll be like, oh my, Oli, no.
Punch it!
The only issue I am scared of, which is a very big reality, is that if Oli does get fired by this board, because like I said, the board is our biggest problem. Who's to say this board's gonna hire Poch? Just now Allegri comes in and I'm fucking. I know I complain about Oli, but fam, Allegri, no.
I'm crying.
I would also cry. I would actually be begging for Oli to come back if that is our backup manager. So I really don't trust the board. We are in a world of shit at the moment as United fans, but yeah.
I think the positive thing that they wanted Poch so much. Like there was a point where it was.
Poch is a good logical one as well.
They just seemed like it was him or the highway for the board. So I don't know. Now they've got Ole, and you might.
Made it to Champions League final with Spurs.
Like
what?
He has that's how it's all about. Getting the best out of his players with one eye. Because he had Danny Levy, fam. This is the first season I ever seen Danny Levy back in manager. So I don't know. The only thing Poch won't do is he probably won't be a puppet for the Glazers. Like Oli, you won't say I'm happy with the players. I love the club. Poch will be like, bored as shit. The players, some players are just not good enough. You could say that. You might not do it on TV because Poch is a very nice human man, but at the back of the room he's probably like, guys, I didn't get backed. You're probably just not good enough. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not good enough. And McTominay is.
I guess the question is, yes, they probably won't back him, and they'll be to his downfall. But I guess the big question is, how good are these players actually, and what could Poch do with these players that are here?
If you only defend Oli, I think that's very valid. I think that's a very valid point. How good are some of these players that we claim to be so good? How good really is Paul Pogba? How good really is Aaron Wan-Bissaka? How good is Maguire? How good is David De Gea? How good is Marcus Rashford? Because I think it's not clear. Top of my head, people like Rashford. I love Martial, but like you say, goal scoring. He doesn't get enough goals. On top of my head, we just have to be negative. Martial doesn't get enough goals. Rashford is far too inconsistent. He's got no freaking footballing IQ. Bruno Fernandes, okay, fair enough. Bruno. one player I cannot complain about at all. Maybe he got in that pick. He gives away the ball too many times, way too many times. Paul Pogba,
Yeah, that's
got
true.
highly inconsistent. He couldn't even be considered world class. How people see him world class, we don't know. He's not a world class player. Harry Maguire, 80 million. How is he? He's not a centre back of Manchester. He's slow, not a captain. Luke Shaw, not good enough, injury prone. Alex Telles, COVID, new player. Who knows? You can nitpick. You can first to bad, definitely so. But then again, like
That's true, but
Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood last season got more goals than Salah, Mane, and Firmino. So
that is true. But
Aaron Wan-Bissaka was titanium. He was titanium last season.
I'm starting to feel like maybe a manager like Poch might be able to get a little bit more consistency out of these players.
No, yeah, like I said, I do agree. I think Poch. The thing is, if Oli gets sacked tomorrow, I think when Poch comes in, we see a better style of play. We see more consistent performance. Will you win the league? Nope. Will you win the Champions League? Nope. Will we ever do it with any manager under the Glazers? Nope. So that is the biggest problem. Like I said, first prize is you nuke the Glazers. Nuke them. Press the launch button, they get nuked.
I guess
we move.
I guess Spurs is the biggest example. Yes, he could never challenge for the league, but he was consistent enough to get them in top four season in, season out.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if, let's just say if Poch was, if we were Spurs, basically, right? If we were Spurs, Pochettino made it to a Champions League final. And where did he finish that season? We were third. He finished third that season.
Yeah, I finished third.
Sure.
So he finished third and a Champions League final, fam. I'm gassed, Lati. I'm gassed. Proper gassed. I would have been heartbroken. We didn't win the final.
The Spurs board did exactly. Spurs were in the position we were in at this point in the season, and they're like, "No, we're done." Like that's what happened.
But that's also the other thing.
Why aren't we
Spurs
doing
were in
that as well?
the position we were in, and it's not even. I don't even think the way Poch got sacked. Well, it's going to sound ridiculous because I'm about to compare it to my football manager career. But basically, we were managing everything. Right now, Everton, I did everything for them. Right, I got them. Like I want the Champions League for them. Like now, imagine in real life, if Everton got Champions League football, that's like a ridiculously big deal. And the highest I could take them was fifth. I took them fifth. I missed it by 1 point, and then the next season, injury crisis struck me. I lost the dressing room basically, and my time was up. It happens, not every manager has a Sir Alex Ferguson or an Arsene Wenger career where they just stay forever. It's just a wonderful story you can tell your kids. We are blessed as United fans that we can say, "Oh, I had the greatest manager of all time. I had the greatest teams of all time," and that's where the standard is, and that's where the standard should be. So that's the whole point of going on that rant. So yeah, it's very interesting with the Istanbul game. Just to sum up everything.
I don't want to go too off topic, but do you guys think that we have a better squad that Poch had at Tottenham?
Yes, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, midfield definitely, defense definitely. Your front three arguably not, but yeah.
But that's
defense.
75% of the team,
Yeah, but that's 75% of the team, yeah. So.
Yeah, defense. I wonder. I think so. I think we do, but I wouldn't say with 100% conviction. But the rest of the team, I'll have to say
Ben
yes.
Davies versus Luke Shaw, Serge Aurier versus Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, we win the fullbacks. Centre backs. I think we lose the centre backs.
Lindelof beats them. I think Lindelof makes.
I don't know. Alderweireld and Vertonghen. Nah, mates. Nah.
Yeah,
I think one of them. I think one of the centre backs gets in. But then again, when I look at my centre backs, I ain't playing Maguire. I'm playing Tanzania.
I'm definitely playing.
That's
maybe Tanzania's a shout, but if without Tanzania in the list, I'm definitely playing Alderweireld and Vertonghen. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, obviously.
I think,
without Tanzania, I think there's argument.
But again, they're all in their 30s. Thomas literally let him go play for Benfica.
No, I meant at the time he was.
Yeah, no, I'm just
pot.
saying. Like, you literally got an aging squad with centre backs like that. And now
the
Mourinho's
midfield,
Eric Dyer.
The midfield battle is no comparison. If you look at that spot side of United, there is no comparison. I generally feel that our midfield is the best in the world. It is the best. That's how I generally. But we don't have a CDM that's great. We don't have a Thomas. If you throw Thomas Partey in there, or Ndidi or freaking Declan Rice, then I'm like, oh, firepower. But the attackers you've got, I mean, that's where I kind of, because, Harry Kane and Son.
It's like we've got a team that can blow teams apart offensively, but we're not using that to our disposal, I feel like, yes, defending is important, but we can outscore teams more, and we're not at the manager who can do that.
Another simple tactic is I just feel like I know the modern fullbacks must go forward and they must be in balls these days. But I feel like with our fullbacks, fam, and with our defense, you tell Wan-Bissaka look for it to sit, you protect it. I feel like there are ways around to get it. That's what it is. That's what it takes to be a high class manager. Yeah, you do have that Tottenham side have weaknesses and it had its strengths, but so does every other team. You play with what you have. You get
I feel like
the best what you have to get. And is Oli getting the best with his players when you playing McTominay and
for the attack we have. Attack we have, I feel like we don't get behind defenses enough. I feel like we really never do that.
But even like the, I preach it every week. Why do we never score tap-ins? Why do we never score?
Yeah, it's boring. We can't score goals from all the play.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why can't we defend set pieces? Like why? Why can't we score set pieces as well? No, it's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm done. I'm done, fam. I've seen enough. I've seen enough.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, but to recap everything we said, we picked the teams that we want to. I think that is the way to go forward. If we do see a dizzy 5 at the back with James or McTominay or I don't know Maguire again. He might win it. He might win the next game. But with that 4th game, when he loses, what was the point of winning those previous 3 games in it?
We'll lose 5 after that.
Exactly. So what is the point? So let's see what Oli does. I'm very interested to see what happens because I think we are definitely in a world where we are very unsure what can happen. But yeah, anyways, if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Please do smash like on the video and comment down below all your general thoughts. I think it has been a very good show. Hopefully, we can get something very interesting in future previews and reactions. I was talking to the boys before we recorded. We might discuss something about that a little bit after. We could get, more in depth. What I'm trying to say, but I think that could be something we could do. So look out for something new coming through, match reviews and reactions and stuff. And but for me and the boys, it's been a good show. We'll check you on Wednesday. We'll definitely check you on Wednesday for the match reaction. Hopefully it's a good one. Because like I said, I don't want us to still lose. I'm a United supporter. Like, that freaking ruins my week when we lose. So no matter it is, I just want the best for United. But we shall check you in the next one.